Femi's world revolved around Aisha, a woman whose beauty was as captivating as her desires were boundless. From the moment he first saw her at a Lagos art exhibition, draped in an Ankara gown that shimmered like liquid gold, he was utterly smitten. He was a promising architect, still finding his footing, but his love for Aisha knew no financial bounds. He'd splurge on designer handbags from Baligan Market, even if it meant eating instant noodles for a week. He bought her the latest iPhone, despite his own phone being cracked. Aisha, with her perfectly manicured nails and a laugh that could disarm a king, would accept his gifts with a delicate smile, a fleeting kiss, and then, almost immediately, a subtle hint of something grander, something more. "Oh, Femi, this is lovely," she'd purr, "but have you seen the new collection at Zara? Their silk dresses are simply divine." He mistook her constant yearning for a sophisticated taste he needed to match, not a bottomless pit of dissatisfaction. His friends warned him, but Femi, blinded by infatuation, saw only a queen he was destined to adorn. Femi's pursuit of Aisha's elusive satisfaction became an all-consuming obsession. He started taking on extra, poorly paid side projects, sacrificing sleep and his own well-being. When her birthday approached, she casually mentioned her dream of a weekend getaway to Obudu Mountain Resort. The cost was astronomical for Femi, but the thought of Aisha's radiant smile was enough. He secretly borrowed a substantial sum from his unsuspecting best friend, Colonel, promising to pay him back swiftly. He sold his beloved vintage record player, a gift from his late father, to afford a bespoke dress she'd admired. Each grand gesture, each sacrifice, was met with a brief flicker of delight from Aisha, quickly followed by a new, more extravagant request. "Darling, this resort is beautiful, but imagine if we had a private villa with a hot tub," she'd muse, her eyes already scanning for the next peak to conquer. Femi, increasingly gaunt and stressed, believed he was simply not trying hard enough, not loving her enough. He was trapped in a gilded cage of his own making, desperately trying to please a woman who seemed inherently unpleasable. The weight of Femi's financial burdens and emotional exhaustion grew unbearable. He was constantly dodging calls from Colonel, who was beginning to ask pointed questions about the loan. Aisha, meanwhile, had set her sights on a new, incredibly expensive diamond necklace from a high-end boutique in Victoria Island. "It's just perfect for my mother's charity gala, Femi," she'd insisted, her tone implying it was a non-negotiable necessity. Femi, pale and trembling, finally snapped. "Aisha, I can't. I've given everything. I'm in debt, I'm exhausted. Don't you see what this is doing to me?" he pleaded, his voice cracking. Aisha merely raised a perfectly sculpted eyebrow, her expression devoid of sympathy. "Femi, if you truly loved me, you wouldn't make such a fuss over a simple necklace. Perhaps you're not the man I thought you were," she said, her voice chillingly calm. In that moment, something inside Femi shattered. He saw not the woman he adored, but a cold, calculating stranger. The endless chase for her approval had finally ended, not with triumph, but with a profound, bitter emptiness. He knew, with a certainty that pierced his soul, that he had to let her go. Heartbroken but resolute, Femi decided to cut all ties. He stopped answering Aisha's calls and texts, ignoring her increasingly frantic messages. He was preparing to move out of their shared apartment, packing his meager belongings, when he stumbled upon an old, ornate wooden box hidden beneath Aisha's side of the bed. Curiosity, a dangerous companion in grief, compelled him to open it. Inside, nestled amongst old letters and trinkets, was a marriage certificate. His blood ran cold. The names on the certificate were Aisha Adebayo and Chief Obafemi Okoro. Chief Okoro. His own uncle, a notoriously wealthy and influential businessman, known for his numerous, discreet liaisons. The dates on the certificate predated Femi and Aisha's relationship by 2 years. A wave of nausea washed over him. It wasn't just betrayal, it was a grotesque, incestuous deception. The extravagant gifts, the endless demands, they weren't just for Femi to fulfill. Aisha had been playing a cruel, elaborate game, using Femi's genuine affection as a shield, a distraction, while secretly being married to his own flesh and blood, a man who could easily afford her every whim. The revelation hit Femi like a physical blow. He felt a burning rage, not just at Aisha, but at his uncle, Chief Okoro, for such a heinous act of deception. He couldn't confront them immediately, he needed proof, a plan. He secretly photographed the marriage certificate and other incriminating documents he found in the box, including bank statements showing large transfers from Chief Okoro to Aisha's account, clearly funding her demands from Femi. Armed with undeniable evidence, Femi orchestrated a confrontation. He arranged a family dinner, ostensibly to discuss a new business venture with his uncle, and subtly invited Aisha. The atmosphere was initially cordial, but Femi's eyes, hardened by betrayal, gave nothing away. When the dessert was served, Femi cleared his throat. "Uncle, Aisha," he began, his voice steady despite the tremor in his hands, "there's something I need to share with everyone." He then calmly, methodically, laid out the evidence, the marriage certificate, the bank transfers, the timeline. The room descended into stunned silence, broken only by Aisha's gasp and Chief Okoro's furious, panicked expletives. The scandal, raw and explosive, hung heavy in the air. The fallout from Femi's revelation was immediate and devastating. Chief Okoro, a man who prided himself on his impeccable public image, was disgraced. The news, though contained within the family's influential circles, spread like wildfire, tainting his reputation and business dealings. Aisha, stripped of her carefully constructed facade, found herself ostracized. Her social standing, so meticulously curated, crumbled. Femi, initially consumed by anger, slowly began to heal. He repaid Connor, apologizing profusely for the deception. He focused on his architecture career, channeling his pain into passion, and found success he never imagined possible when he was chasing Aisha's approval. He learned invaluable lessons about true love, self-worth, and the insidious nature of deceit. While no legal action was taken, the social justice served was profound. Aisha disappeared from their social scene, a ghost of her former glamorous self. Chief Okoro, humbled and isolated, never fully recovered his former influence. Femi, however, emerged stronger, wiser, and finally, truly free. He understood that sometimes, letting go isn't a loss, but the greatest gain of all.